Let's bring in now Federated Hermes CIO, Stephen Auth. And, you know, your timing for this trip was absolutely perfect. You and I communicated over the weekend before the election results, and you were just like, I'm pumped about what I'm seeing in Japan.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting out there. You know, it's the Trump effect going global here. Restructuring, tax cuts, improved economic growth, nominal GDP, renormalization of the economy, and everybody talking about resourcing, reshoring. So yeah, it was pretty bullish.
Yeah, Sanai Takaichi, you know, she played in a rock band, drives a motorcycle, and they say she might even be more like, she's like a sort of Margaret Thatcher, but again, everyone's following the Trump lead, and Japan was already starting to come back. Let's talk a little bit, though, about the, you know, elaborate on what we're talking about here. A country that was essentially asleep for 30 years.
Yeah, it's been in a deflation for the last 30 years, prices going down. You can't run an economy that way. But finally now, they've solved that. Inflation's back, the nominal GDP is growing, the central bank is actually raising rates off of zero. So yeah, it's a pretty good environment.
All right, it's a pretty good environment here. Now, this could have been the lead any other day, right? Your memo, One Big Beautiful World, introducing your 2027 target, 8,600. You've leaped up there pretty good. What drives us there?
We think it's earnings and really margin expansion. And, you know, every year I read this stuff from global strategists and, you know, margins are peaking, margins are going to roll over, and they keep going up because the mix of companies in the S&P is increasing towards companies with higher margin businesses. So the margins on the market are going up. AI is going to help improve that. You've got tax cuts, deregulation coming. And so all of that is leading to economic acceleration, improving margins, and that's going to get you, we think.
You also talk about animal spirits here, earnings, to your point, multiple expansion. And again, you know, historically, this is not necessarily an excessive target, but let's talk more specifically how to make money from it, because you've got an array of different picks out there that we're going to put up on the board. I want to begin with large cap pharma. You know, healthcare crushed it last week. It's coming on pretty good now.
Yeah, and this has been part of our value trade, market broadening out idea. I think I presented Amgen to you about a month ago,
I think so.
But I'm sticking with this one here. And you know, the news over the weekend just improves the story there. It's the political overhang of these stocks, which has really held them back, despite the valuations, is now lifting.
You've got regional banks. Everyone seems to like Citizens. Value tech, which could arguably be oxymoron, but it's not, right? I mean, it is relatively cheap, Amazon.
Yeah, well, within the tech world, people are rotating around to find cheaper stocks. Google was a name I gave you a couple of months ago. Then it was Samsung Electronics. We think Amazon could be next. This is one of the cheaper names, you know, within the big tech megaspace.
Small caps coming on too. CTRI, this is a ticker you've given us before.
Yeah, it is, and that's a stock that's down actually since I gave it to you, Charles. So I'd be loading up on it here. You know, we had some weak weather over the last quarter, so the stock's off a little bit. But in a long-term play, they're building out the energy infrastructure. They're, you know, the power lines. They're going to be up 20% a year in orders.
Your Japan play, Daifuku.
Daifuku, that's one of, you know, you want to go to Japan.
I was afraid to say the word, okay? I was like, I might slip on this thing.
They make automated.
Daifuku-you.
Automated assembly lines. If you go to the airport, probably Daifuku made the assemblies that transport luggage around the airport, as an example. So in a world where everybody's automating to solve the labor crisis, this is one of the leading companies in the world that make this kind of stuff.
I love that you always position the audience. That's what I like. It's not about chasing with you, and if people follow you, it works out so well. Your track record is absolutely phenomenal. Is there a point where you feel like, okay, things are just too good? Do you feel like we're getting too giddy at all?
Well, we've had a good run, but I would say off the beginning of the year, not so much. People's heuristics on this market, Charles, are thrown off by two things. One is the move off the lows. They forget about the move into the lows.
Right.
When you average it out, we're up 14, 15% in the year. That's a lot, but it's not crazy, actually. Nothing like...
Oh, we're trailing the rest of the world big time still.
Absolutely. And then the second thing is people keep referring to the multiple, and the historic multiple on the market is for an industrial economy. So the heuristics at 18 is a reasonable multiple for stocks, I think are off. We think in this kind of economy with asset-light businesses that we have in the S&P, we think the multiple ought to be about 22 times.
Steve, great stuff.
Thank you, Charles.
Next time you go somewhere, let me know before you go. And maybe I can get a little position there. Appreciate you.